What's up, everyone, and welcome back to HBCU Game Day. I am Symone Stanley. We are joined by Stephen J. Gaither, face of HBCU Game Day on the Twitter streets. Steve, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm good. So, Steve, it's been a crazy about 2.5 weeks now in the HBCU sports world, and we have to react to some of the latest news. Marcus Stokes, he is a 4-star quarterback. He was recruited and committed to the University of Florida. He was set and ready to be a Gaither, and then unfortunately, he got caught up in one of the worst ways. He was caught on camera singing and rapping a song that included the N-word, and he did not bleep it out, so to say. He went on and said the N-word in the context.
No self-edit.
In the context of the song, and that landed him in some hot water. I'm honestly a little bit surprised. University of Florida retracted his offer. No longer is allowing Marcus Stokes to play at Florida. I'm honestly surprised. I would have thought that Florida would have given him a second chance. Were you surprised by that at all?
I don't think so. Not in this day and age. Obviously, we'll get into it later. What he did was wrong. And it definitely wasn't smart. I think in this day and age, and rightfully so, people are more sensitive to these type of things and aware of them. So I think for the University of Florida, it was a situation where, it'd be nice to have another 4-star quarterback, but they're an SEC squad. They probably have their pick to a certain level of 4-star quarterback. So I could kind of see why, they felt like the risk wasn't worth the reward for them. So I can see that.
Okay, so since then, Marcus received 2 offers from HBCUs, one in the SIAC, a Division II powerhouse in Albany State University. Right. The other one from the SWAC, Alabama A&M, his first Division I HBCU offer. He announced a few nights ago on Twitter. And HBCU Twitter, as you know, you run those Twitter streets, Steve. HBCU Twitter was in a tizzy. It was like 50%. 50% of HBCU Twitter, I felt like, were like, let's give this guy a chance. They didn't see anything wrong with it, allowing him to have a chance to, rehab his mistakes and come and showcase his skills at HBCU. And then it seemed like the other half down the middle were like, why do we have to be the programs to offer this guy a second chance? But the plot thickens, Steve, because, people can run their mouth all they want to on Twitter. We all like to do it. But at the end of the day, us as fans, as fans, we are not the decision makers at the end of the day. But the Albany State University president, a decision maker, she decided to pull the plug on the Rams offer, and their newest head coach, Quinn Gray, released a statement today apologizing to the Ramily.
Yeah, when you say Ramily, I gotta pull back from that. As a Winston-Salem State Ram, I don't feel like I heard them saying that. The other HBCU Rams I don't feel like I heard them say. But anyway, yeah,
I feel like all Ram mascots probably say Ramily. It's really not that clever.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, Quinn Gray, give us your reaction to him pulling back that offering an apology, quick, overnight, express apology to the Ramily.
Yeah, I mean, it is a situation where I didn't see this happening. Obviously, when we reported on the first offer earlier in the week, there were a lot of pushback. A lot of people were like, nah, like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to be the schools to do that? And so I got that from a lot of people. But to see, and I wouldn't have been surprised if that was the last you heard of it. He's gotten other offers from, not only Alabama A&M, but some other, schools as well. And so I was just thinking it would go away, but to see that, to come across Twitter a little bit earlier this afternoon and see that, Mr. Gray had to end up, basically apologizing for the offer. it was pretty shocking to me. But as you could read through the entirety of the apology on HBCUGameday.com, he mentioned that he had a talk with the president, Miss Frederick, I believe is her name, and the sister shut it down. So obviously, when the president talks, things happen on the university. Our good friend Luke Williams used to always tell me that a lot of HBCU presidents, they don't necessarily, a lot of them don't know or don't care about athletics as long as it doesn't cause them a problem. I'm not sure, about Miss Frederick, but I know a lot, obviously, this caused some type of a problem for her to call Coach Gray into the office. He just had a great start earlier this week. Our guy Vaughn was there streaming the intro, and it was a great introduction. And then the news came out, and so here we get to here. So as we just see, the HBCU sports cycle just keeps on spinning to something all the time. And just like a lot of this Ed Reed stuff, I don't know if we're supposed to say his name on here now, but
he can say our name, we can say his.
But like a lot of this, like a lot of things now, it's just like it went in the bingo cards that he would have to literally apologize for the offers. So
yeah, I honestly am surprised. The thing that I'm surprised about is the having to apologize. I could see a situation where, the president might have a one-on-one with him and that's not a good look. And the public not knowing about it. He just, quietly retracts the offer or whatever that process is. But him having to making an apology for making an offer, I'm just surprised that he had to issue an apology for that. And Quinn Gray, like you said, he has came in to Albany State University, like I said, a D2 HBCU powerhouse. This is his first season at Albany State, his first season as a college head coach. Woo, if he brought in a 4-star quarterback, that would have been really exciting to see.
Yeah, well, I think that's the allure for, the allure of it all. If you actually look, whenever I saw the offer, I looked at some of the schools that offered him. And one of the schools that offered him was Memphis, who Quinn Gray just came from. He spent a year as an offensive analyst over at Memphis. So obviously he was aware of the young man and his talents and everything like that. He gets a job at Albany State. And obviously, since then, we see what's transpired with him in the University of Florida. And, personally, I gotta say, I don't always give my opinion, but I don't necessarily feel that I blame him.
You don't always give your opinion, Steve. I feel like you always give your opinion.
Yeah, I don't always write my opinions. I did write a little bit earlier this week that I thought that it was okay for them to offer him a scholarship. I understand, what he did was wrong, and I hope and I think at this point he understands that it definitely was wrong and it wasn't smart of him to do so. But I just feel like, in the grand scheme of things, and again, having covered HBCUs, going back to my college years, man, I don't even want to say 15, 20, 16 years. I've seen a lot of kids who have had a lot of things in their background that were actually detrimental to other people and a lot, physically did things, harm to people. And, we've given those second chances, and HBCUs have always been second chances. And I think, and I know a lot of people understand, and it's true that, folks that look like Mr. Stokes often get second chances, where a lot of guys who don't look like him don't get as many second chances. But in the world of college athletics that we live in, athletes usually do get second chances somewhere. Even at Albany State, at the Division II level, there are schools that you'll compete against, your Valdosta States, your West Georgias and stuff like that, who they have guys who have similar to a lot of HBCUs who have, maybe their Power 5 level talent or FBS level talent, but they've done things and they've dropped down, right? And so these are schools that you're competing against. So I think everything is a risk versus a reward. If this had been a situation where he, physically, harmed someone, or if there had been a malicious intent behind his words, and he was, I just feel like there's a little nuance to this situation. But I think, again, we live in a society where everybody can give their opinions, everybody can voice their concerns, and with that, it just it's something that you got to answer for, that maybe maybe 10, 15 years ago, this would have actually happened without a hitch. So it's just the world that we live in, and people have a right to voice their opinion, and obviously the opinion of the lady Lady Frederick, the president there at Albany State, reigned supreme in this one.
Well, we will have to wait and see what happens next. One thing we know for sure, he will not be going to Albany State University, and there is still one HBCU offer on the table as of right now, and more could possibly come. At the end of the day, he is a 4-star, and like you said, when it comes to athletics, on no matter what level, if you can play, they will push a lot of other things to the side. But this is HBCU Game Day, you guys. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video and also follow and subscribe to us here. And also check us out on the web, hbcugameday.com.